Hello and welcome to a brand new RuneScape video, but today is not just any video, today is the finale, the final episode of the Rune Dragon alt account. We've been working towards this for a long time, but today is finally the day we take on Galvek, the big red dragon, this big boss here. I've never done this quest before, and we do have a lot to get through before we actually get to the quest, but before I jump into that, let me just say a massive thank you to all you guys. The support this season has been pretty insane, over 250,000 views, 98% plus like ratio. We started with 1.4k subs and we've went up over 10 times. That's right, 14.8 thousand subscribers now. Pretty insane. And as always, a massive shout out to all the lads in the CC who hang out with me while I'm training up these accounts. If any of you guys want to chill or hang out anywhere, just jump in the CC. There we go, intro's pretty much over. I know you guys are probably thinking this will be the last time you see this big Mr. T looking head, but do not worry, I have big plans for this account. I've been using this account as a main and absolutely loving it. I've been killing it at the Nightmare, and I mean proper killing it. Yeah, we got a Nightmare staff loot in a duo. Pretty awesome. Like, basically what I'm saying is, because I now have a high level account, I can do all this high level content and create some pretty cool videos for you guys. You will be seeing this Mr. T head again soon enough, don't worry about that. But as for today, let's crack on with the Rune Dragon alt finale. There it is, the last intro to the Rune Dragon alt episodes. That's an emotional time, I'll probably look back on this in the future. But anyway, there we go. Last episode we smacked Ranastraken, we completed a Taste of Hope quest. We were on 209 quest points with all these stats. You would think we should be able to go and do Dragon Slayer 2 right now, but no, we have not even done Dragon Slayer 1. We are 209 quest points without completing Dragon Slayer 1, which is pretty crazy. I don't think anybody will have ever went this far without slapping Elvarks. I'm sure some people will now after watching this season, because the Slayer method we had without any dragons was pretty awesome. But anyway, we headed over, and here it is, boys. Dragon Slayer 1 has been started with 209 quest points. We can now get assigned dragons, so our Slayer method is ruined. But I'm going to actually try something here. You cannot use anti-fire potions until you've started Dragon Slayer. Does that mean you can skip the part of this quest where you actually go and get the anti-dragon fire shield? Because surely I could just use like extended anti-fire or super anti-fire, not need the shield, and it'll make the quest a wee bit faster. Just head over and straight away kill the dragon without talking to the Duke. So I thought, oh, let's skip that. You never know, it might save some of you guys a few minutes if it's possible. So I went over and tested this for you guys, and let me tell you, it was the best thing I ever could have done. Not because it worked, it didn't work at all. Elvard completely ignored that, ripped us to pieces, lowered all our stats, took away all of our food. But is there anything more nostalgic than getting completely shredded by a level 83 dragon? I can remember the first time I done this quest when I was an absolute noob many years ago, and it completely went the exact same way then. She completely demolished me. So yeah, you need to go and get the shield, or maybe you can skip that part and buy it in Grand Exchange. You might not need to go and talk to the Duke in Lumbridge, but you definitely can't go straight to the dragon. So after getting completely shredded, we decided we would go over and talk to the Duke. Then we geared up and we were taking no chances. We brought super anti-fire this time, full inventory food, dragon halberts for specs. But what I didn't think is when you're wearing a Halley, you don't actually have your shield on. And he actually didn't lower all our stats or wreck us, so you can do this quest without going to get the shield, which would save you a few minutes. But don't bring anti-fire, bring super anti-fire potions. And there he is, much easier that time, 2 specs and that's it done. I didn't realise how brutal this was whenever I was a kid, but he kills the dragon in his lair and then rips off his head and brings it over to the other boy. Anyway, we headed over to Edgeville, hand in this head, and that is a monumental quest completed on the account. Dragon Slayer Part 1 completed. We can now wear rune plate bodies, dragon plate bodies, we get a bit of strength XP, a bit of defense XP, 211 quest points, but as you guys know, I'm really bad at planning, so we're not even close to Dragon Slayer 2 yet. There's a few quests I really want to do first, and there's a few I have to do. I have to do a Tale of Two Cats and a few others just as pre-quests, but I also want to do Fremennik Exiles to be able to use that helm. Yeah, let's just smash these out. So we done Horror from the Deep quest completed there. It's a really good one, but you can't do it because of Dragon Offs if you're doing Neve Slayer. Then we head over and done Heroes quest. We couldn't do that because we didn't have Dragon Slayer completed till now, but there's Hero quest out of the way. Then we head over and we done this part of Recipe for Disaster, some Armic Vias. Sir Armic Vias, I don't know. Then we head over and we done the bar crawl, and there is the big bar crawl has been completed, I think. Yeah, the camera just shutters a wee bit. Get slapped for 24, and there is the bar crawl completed. And here's a big boy one, Recipe for Disaster, the final fight, and that is Bee Gloves unlock. Recipe for Disaster completed, a monumental moment on any account, actually unlocking Bee Gloves. You have to do that if you want to be good at PVM, so that's pretty awesome to get out of the way. He completely explodes into food, which is pretty weird. 215 quest points, we're getting closer now, boys. Scratch that, it's actually 216, I checked too early. We had down and bought our first ever pair of bee gloves, which is also a hard lumberage diary on the account. And there it is, we'll alt these rune ones, we're never going to need them again. And the plus 12's coming in. I'm going to get ferocious gloves, but in a lot of places bee gloves are actually better, because they have all those defensive stats. Then we headed over and smashed out another big one, Legends. This actually gives us 60 agility here, which is pretty cool. There's 60 agility coming in. Eventually I want to get 70 for Ceradome and God Wars. That might be the only quest that gives you the XP before you complete the quest, you know? He's like, here's a chunk of XP, and then there's quest completed. 220 quest points on the account. Then I headed upstairs, bought myself one of these capes. So these here are only 675 GP and they've plus 7 in all defensive stats. So they're really good if you're running about the wild and you don't want to risk anything. It's really weird actually. There's 2 shops up here and the other one has a bit of a bot farm going on. Or maybe not a bot farm, because it does take a long time to get the Legends quest. I can't see bots doing this, but every single shop should only have these 4 items in it, so all these other items have been sold to it. And I hopped around 10 worlds and there's all these items in every single world, so it's probably just like Venezuelans hopping around selling them to every single world. I wonder how much profit per hour these guys are making, because I know RuneScape removed the hop limit a while ago. I noticed it when I was hopping about getting Implinks in the Fossil Island only account. There is no hop limit, so you can just hop really quick world to world, and if they're making like 5 or 10k every single world, that's going to be a lot of profit. If you guys want to see a video where I test this method, just let me know in the comments. Anyway, let's crack on with the progress. So we are very close to Fremennik Exiles. We've done all the quests, we've got the rune craft, and we just have 1 more fishing level to go, and it's pretty close, like 3 or 4 more fish, so we'll speed this up. And there we go boys, 60 fishing coming in, every single requirement out of the way. We're actually going to do something before that quest though. So in the last video I was working on the Western Hard Diaries, but I forgot to plant this palm tree, so I had to wait for it to grow. But there it is, the palm tree has now been checked, and that is the last step in the Western Hard Diaries. For any of you who don't know, Western Hards are the most important diaries in the game. They give you access to Elite Void and the Crystal Halberd, so one of the best spec weapons in the game. It hits very slow, so it's not as good as claws everywhere, but it is good if you just have one chance. You know, at the end of a bloat phase, you can do a certain amount of hits, and then you can hit a spec with the Crystal Halberd to get the highest DPS possible. And the Elite Void is just awesome in loads of places. You can use it at Corp, you can use it at Theatre of Blood. I think some people still use it at Raids, I'm not too sure, I'd have to check that. But yeah, having access to both of them from one diary is pretty awesome. You also get a 15k XP lamp and this banner. I don't know if the banner's any good, but 15k XP, hard to beat like. So that is a diary, I'm really glad to have that out of the way. I don't know if I need any of the other diaries, but that one's pretty awesome. I think the teleport just brings you here. So yeah, banner's pretty useful as well. But the main thing is this Crystal Halberd. I've been doing a load of Sharacnus in this account and I'm using a Dragon Halberd, and the other day I hit a 50-50 spec, like 100 damage in one hit, and this thing has much higher stats. It has the same special attack pretty much, but it has higher stats, so I'm going to be able to hit like a 62 at the moment. Whenever I max out, that's going to go up, so I don't know what the actual maximum hit with a Crystal Halberd is, but it's an awesome spec weapon. I'm going to buy 2 here. I know it's cheaper if you degrade 1 and come back, but I just don't want to have to come over here all the time. So there it is, look at these stats, 130 slash 138 strength bonus, pretty awesome. Then we headed over and started the Fremennik Exiles. Now I know this is going a bit off Dragon Slayer, but I wanted to get this one out of the way because it has the best in slot helm in the game, plus 6 strength. There's this puzzle in the middle of it where you have to kind of guess, trial and error to fill in all these boxes. It took me to the last box and then I kind of had a bit of a guess on this one and somehow managed to get them all right. If you hit all of them wrong, I think it resets, so it was quite lucky to get it in the final attempt. Anyway, we headed and took on the boss without banking, didn't have enough supplies, got wrecked the first time. This boy's actually pretty tight. But then we geared up, brought better stuff. I tried the Crystal Halberd spec, but if you take off the shield, he just lowers all your stats. But we did manage to like restore, got it back up, finished him off there. And then we finished one of the biggest quests on the account at the minute, Fremennik Exiles. What is with that window? Anyway, Fremennik Exiles has been completed. We can now get ourselves the Neat is Not, what is this thing called? Ballistic Jaw and the Neat is Not face guard. I didn't actually have enough money to afford it, so I had to sell my imbued heart. But there it is boys, Ballistic Jaw, Basilisk Jaw coming in, 35 million. And I just need to whack that on a Neat is Not Hem, 1 second. Just reporting this bot. And there we go boys, the Neat is Not face guard. I actually can't even make it, had to run over to this boy, Ulf the Bard, and he made it for me. Well, give him the ability to make it. But there it is, 2 massive upgrades on the account, and I think that's the last one I want to do before Dragon Slayer 2. Let's have a look at that. I still haven't done a Tale of Two Cats, so we will blast that out, but our strength bonuses went up by like 7. Our stats are flying up as well. There's a wee update on all the stats. This thing is so good, like 25% of its health in the very first hit before he walks away. It's not as good on jab, it's pretty inaccurate here, but it just destroys most things. There's my first ever melee only fire cape, which is pretty cool. Okay, one more, last one this time. So good. Right, last one, promise this time. 69s. This thing just completely wrecks. There it is, boys, the first level 99 coming in on the account. We got 99 HP first. It's a really good one to do first because the HP cape looks pretty cool untrimmed. I didn't know you can boost your hit points with this cape. I'm not sure how often you can do that, but yeah, plus 1 HP. We headed over and done Dream Mentor next, just a couple more Holly specs, and that is us quest completed. Dream Mentor's really good, it's got loads of extra spells on the Lunar Spellbook, which is pretty awesome. There's 1700 total, 64 Smith, and we're getting very close now. There's 98 Strength, there's Contact quest complete, 227 quest points. There's 73 Prayer coming in, and decided to celebrate by slaying this boy who's out here training Prayer as well. It's probably a good thing to do because you get free Prayer XP, but I'm terrible at PK and I haven't done it in years. We got a good bit of loot though, loads of Prayer XP, loads of these Dragon Bones. And there it is, lads, A Tale of Two Cats, the last quest out of the way. We can now do Dragon Slayer. It does say we need a smithing level, but I've just left that like 93 XP off. We're going to get that at the start of the stream. So as you guys might know, I streamed Dragon Slayer Part 2. A lot of you tuned in, over 1,000 viewers, which is pretty awesome. But we smashed out Dragon Slayer Part 2 on stream. It took us 4 hours and 14 minutes, but some of that was just waiting at the start. Really about 3 hours to get through the entire quest with no guide, just you guys helped me out. But have a listen to this. We stuck on this royalty-free playlist I found on Spotify called Royalty-Free Music for YouTube and Twitch, and I thought that'd be safe enough because it's called royalty-free music, and we ended up getting not 1, not 2, but 21 copyright claims on this here stream, which is pretty crazy. Moral of that story is do not trust a Spotify playlist. But anyway, we started Dragon Slayer Part 2, and I need to shout out these two lads. One boy, Natural Lime, lent me Pegasian boots and this Dragonfire ward, and then replies no, give me full orbital. Look at that gear upgrade, like, made the quest so much easier, so massive shout out to them lads. There's 2 parts of the quest I think you guys will want to see. You don't want to see the full 3 hours. If you do, I'll put the link to the stream at the bottom anyway. But the 2 parts I think you'll want to see is the first ever fight against Warcraft. Now this is a nerfed version of Warcraft, it's not the same as fighting him after the quest, he's much easier. And when I had this maxed range gear on, I just completely ripped through him. I thought I'd die at least a few times, but I was hitting like 70s and 80s on him, just completely destroying him with this here Dragon Hunter crossbow and all. I did nearly die there. I forgot that there's these wee like crabs that come, and if they get to you, they'll one hit you, and he was like 1 square off. But we walked through him, pretty much killed him in like 60 seconds or something crazy. Easy to deal with that first dragon, but there's a lot more to go in this quest. The other one I think you guys will want to see is definitely Galvek at the end of the quest, but have a look at this. I found a really weird, unique moneymaker. Once you finish Dragon Slayer 2, there's a respawn of dragon bitters right here on the island, and every time you pick them up, it says they're worth like 509 GP, but later on I sold them in the G for 900 GP each, so that's quite a bit of money for just hopping around doing nothing. But anyway, it got on to this here part where you need to repair the boat from all the damage from the dragons, and it's the most annoying thing ever. The first time we ever tried it, we didn't really know what we were at, and we managed to get it quite well, a good run, and we got down to 0 seconds. Like 0 seconds remaining, 1 more second and we would have completed this, but then we failed with 11 seconds left, we failed with 5 seconds, we failed with 6. It took us like 7 attempts to get here, and then we finally got through it. It was so annoying. Every single attempt is 4 minutes on the boat, plus a wee bit of a reset, so like 4.5 minutes if you fail, and we just kept failing it, but we finally got through this bit, and now it is time for the big boy dragon. But before you actually get to him, you do have to kill all the other ones. So we killed an iron, we killed a green, then we had to kill a blue dragon, a green dragon, another blue dragon, then we killed another green dragon. And we pretty much went through every single dragon in the game to get to this one, the big one, the boss. This one's pretty strong now. He's killed a load of players. He can hit over 100. He's hit people for like 102, 73, hits these boys for 36s. He's even killed the ginger with a 99, and he's supposed to be good at the game. So I had no idea how this fight would go. I'd never watched a guide on it. I've only seen people do it at the start, way back when the quest came out. So I know some of the mechanics, but not everything. But here it is, the moment we've been waiting for the past few months. We trained up all those skills, all that melee training, all those quests out of the way just to fight this big red dragon. Even to show how strong he is, even wrecks Bob the cat. And you know how strong he is, like. There it is, Bob got completely wrecked, but we will be revenging him. Don't you worry about that. But as you guys probably know, before you fight the big boss, you have to fight this black dragon, and I wasn't paying attention, I was reading the stream, so whenever I started fighting him, I didn't know I was in combat with the big dragon at the same time. So the first attempt didn't go perfect, but here's the second attempt. So we kicked things off with killing the black dragon whilst dodging all of this big boy's attacks. Once we knew what to dodge, it was okay. We almost died there because of the death animation kind of slowed us down, or maybe we'd moved out of the way and it didn't like display it right. Then we killed the steel dragon, then the brutal red dragon, then the mithril dragon, and what was after it? Oh yeah, all the boys come out and help you with the mithril dragon, but I didn't have insulated boots, so all the boys in the stream, big shout out to them. They were telling me to teleport out or get completely wrecked. Pegasians aren't the best thing if you're doing Dragon Slayer 2, it's better to have insulated boots. It just means these here Addy and Rune dragons won't completely wreck you, but we killed the Addy dragon. And then it was time for the first ever Rune Dragon. On the Rune Dragon ult, I thought I'd show you this entire kill, just sped up a wee bit. We're going to be killing thousands of these things after the quest. They're one of the best money makers in the game because they're so AFK. You don't have to put in loads of time like bossing or Zulrah or anything like that. You can do it whilst you do other stuff and still get really good profit. So this here's the first Rune Dragon out of maybe 10,000 or something I planned to kill in this account. We slapped him and then it was time for the final fight, Galvek the dragon, the biggest one in this quest. And what I'm going to do here is just put some dramatic music playing over the first fight and speed up for you guys. So here it is, Galvek the dragon. Sit back, relax and enjoy. Actually nah, that music doesn't sound right. How's about this? And there it is, boys. You couldn't get much more clutch than that. No sips of brew left. One sip of super restore. 47 HP. And we somehow managed to kill him before he killed us. He fires off a big 1500 hit on that boy. Kills him. That's Galvek beat, the hardest dragon in the quest. I think we're very close to the end now. So I'm going to head over and finish this quest. One thing before we do, is this here cutscene missing some text or what's actually going on? Because you'd think with the cutscene here it should say what's happening. I think it's like Bob's funeral or something like that. But it doesn't tell you anything, it just kind of flies over the top of them with nothing happening in the chat box. Did it just not load right? Or is this actually what it looks like in the real quest? Like nothing's there, I don't know. Anyway, we headed over to the Myths Guild for the final time on this account. Big shout out to these lads actually for stopping off and watching me finish the quest, especially Jorm, but all three of them, like three wee legends. Jorm was like our personal guide for the first half of the quest, so big shout out to him. He just made it so much easier, especially since we weren't using a guide. But here it is, boys, the final few moments of the Dragon Alt account. Actually, I will make a Dragon Alt loot video for this account, but yeah, we're getting there. We are about to complete the biggest goal I've ever set in RuneScape. I don't think I've ever had an account with 200 plus quest points, even back in RuneScape 3 days, so yeah, this is pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie, it did take us longer than I thought it would, and we got distracted quite a few times, but it's still an awesome achievement on the account. Now I'll be able to kill myth dragons, and we're just one click away. So here it is, lads. Dragon Slayer Part 2 has been completed. Big chunk of XP, 234 quest points. I think you can actually get more XP by talking to somebody in the inside here. You get like 100k combat XP as well. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. We're going to make a load of money in this account. Get like an Elysian Spirit Shield, Twisted Bow, all that max gear. Do a bit of Theatre of Blood. I've never tried it. A bit of raids. I'll probably make some more videos in this, but they won't be Rune Dragon, you know, progress related. Maybe I'll do one loot video for you guys. Oh, do you know what I'll do to wrap this up? I'll buy the Myth's Cape, and then I'll head over to Lumbridge and talk to Hans, and he'll tell me the exact play time and the exact creation time of this account, and we can see exactly how long all of this took. So here it is, the Mythical Cape. This thing's only 10k, but it's actually really useful. It has a +6 crush bonus, so it makes your Dragon Warhammer that bit more accurate, which means it's really good if you're lowering the defense of a monster like at Corp or anything like that. So it's best to make your Dragon Warhammer really accurate, and then once you've used your Dragon Warhammer specs, you'd swap back to a Fire Cape. It's got a few uses and it's very cheap, so yeah, pretty awesome to have on the account. So here it is, the final look at the stats in the Rune Dragon Alt. We're almost 99 attack, we're 99 strength, 99 HP, 95 defense. The stats are looking pretty good, like I'm not far off the maximum damage output, which is really what I want. I can get the defense up at the Rune Dragons, that doesn't matter too much. But I'm going to head over to Lumbridge here and show you the completion time, how long it took me to build this account. What are you thinking? Here we go. Hans, be nice to me, man. Over 33% playtime. That's crazy. It is because Nightmare Zone's so AFK, but I should really play a different game.